Bob, I know you guys said you weren't going to give daily updates on Steve's condition, but Joe did go on the radio and say that he had some kind of procedure. How did that procedure go? What's the update there?
He was at Duke. He had a procedure done Friday, and it's hard to answer some of this because even the doctors aren't entirely sure of recovery time, and that's why we've been a little bit indefinite about everything. We don't know. But procedure went well as far as we know, and now it's a case of how it takes and when he might or might not be back. The good news is it's on the path to recovery, but I wish I could be more definitive. I wish I could be for him more than our team. Just if I knew an answer to any of these questions, I'd be thrilled for him as a person, but I don't know. He doesn't know, and it's difficult. It's difficult for you guys to wonder. It's the hardest, obviously, for Steve.
Was it the similar procedure before at Duke?
Similar, yeah. I don't want to get into. I called Steve this morning to see what it would be okay. I just couldn't get him. I talk to him every day, but similar in nature, I think, to some of the things he's been through in the past, just to try to remedy what's going on.
He's still at Duke now?
I think he's still at Duke. He was yesterday, and I believe he still is, but like I said, I haven't talked to him this morning.
You described the last couple weeks encouraging?
Yeah, I'm always encouraged when he's now dedicated to the pursuit of getting better, whereas before his focus was us, our team. But now kind of putting all his energy into recovering and getting better is encouraging. I wish I could say that we had some kind of solution and we were progressing and I could say he's going to be back. But we just can't say that right now. And if we were to say, if the day comes where we make a determination, one way or the other, we will tell you with his blessing. Whether that's good or bad, we'll let everybody know. But right now it still is in that gray area, which is obviously something we wish was different, but that's what it is.
Do you share Joe's optimism sooner rather than later?
Yeah, I'm optimistic about his recovery. I don't know what that means, sooner than later. You could decide what sooner or later means. It honestly is one of those things where everybody's body reacts differently to these things. His obviously had an adverse reaction 2 years ago. You could go down the line of what he had, what the procedure he had done, how long it takes to take effect, how long it takes for your symptoms to improve. But I don't know the answer of sooner or later. I'll go back to what I said before, which is I think he's going to recover fully. I just don't know when. Nor does he, nor do I think the doctors want to put a timeline on it right now.
Bob, you're speaking to him every day, and the players and even Mike talk about he's given us strategy and still talking to us. He's really at a high level giving directives to the team. How is he functioning right now? How sharp is he?
His wits are there. He's actually probably got, all he thinks about is probably our team. And that can be healthy and that can be extremely difficult. I know it's a totally different situation, but when you're away from the team as a coach, I can't imagine how hard that must be to bear. Some team that you've helped construct, you're the leader. That's hard. So what he does and what he can do is speak to myself, speak to Mike daily, and offer what he sees. He watches every game. I'm sure we'll see him again. I'm sure we'll see him at some point. He gets back to the Bay Area, but it's just something that I wish was different for him. I put so much more emphasis on him as a person. I just want him to get better, as we all do, more than the coach of our team, just as a friend.
How tough is it to watch your friend go through this?
Mike, it doesn't even make it. It's one of those things that it's a little surreal. This is somebody that one of the best people I've ever met, and I picture him. We talked last night before the game, and I don't know. We all have things in our life that don't make sense, and I just can't wait. I will be so happy when he's better for him and his family and everybody that is close to him, just like you guys would be if it was somebody you cared. And I know somebody you know him pretty well and care about. He's a great human being, and my hope is that with this time off, we figure it out, the doctors figure it out, and he can get back to first life, just enjoying his life, and then coaching our team.
Was this transition than you could have expected, that had to happen in the middle of a playoff run?
Yeah, I mean, and I think when you win, it helps, right? You build equity. Mike's building equity as our acting coach. Our players are building equity. They're handling the responsibility. So we will have adversity, and that'll be the test. Adversity could just mean losing a game, which is, I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think we're going to win every game we play. A loss could be right around the corner. So when that happens, we all have to kind of be better than we were before because our leader isn't here. So when we do experience some adversity, whatever, and it may not be a lot, it may be something else. It may not be a loss, it may be something else. And this is adversity, by the way, but it's adversity without one of our leaders, our main leader. So, I mean, that'll be the challenge. But thus far, winning it smooths over that. But it'll rear up. It always does. And then it'll be the real test of how we respond, which I think we're capable of responding. I think we will. But it'll be different without him here.
Do you see JaVale McGee get fourth quarter minutes and go, whoa, JaVale McGee's getting fourth quarter minutes?
Oh, you mean with Mike?
No, just
just me.
Knowing how he came to this team.
Oh, yeah.
His role was at the
Yeah.
end.
Well, one thing Steve has done a wonderful job of is in keeping everyone engaged, so they're ready. Our substitution patterns change. We've changed all year, and his kind of edict to our players is stay ready. And so they've heard that, and that's what he said all year long, and that's what Mike continues to say to the team. So we kind of expect it, but we honor it, and we're proud of the guys that go out there and do what they do, and in intermittent minutes and sometimes erratic minutes when you don't know when you're playing. So yeah, he was a great case, and it was great. I saw Mike's press conference, and I think he mentioned JaVale first, which was obviously there was other guys he could have mentioned, but that was a nice thing for him to do.
Do you know country flights have been hard on Steve?
I think everything's hard right now.
Yeah.
I mean, just cross-country flight's hard on us.
Right.
And if you're in a diminished state, it's harder. So, but that's what it is right now. We're trying to figure it out. He's trying to figure it out. And if that means going to the best people that can help, that's what we're doing.
Do you have an idea when he will be back in the Bay
Area? I don't know. I think I would think soon, but I don't know. I don't know exactly when. And that's the truth. I probably will know today at some point what the exact plan is, but right now I don't know when he'll be back in the Bay Area.
With Durant, the way you envisioned him meshing with the team, is there anything that surprised you?
He's pretty good. I mean, we hadn't seen him. This was probably like the full effect of who he is, I imagine, last night. But, it's hard. Teams take a while. I always said that it takes more than a season almost to have a team mesh, and that's what it should be. Continuity is something that is precious and hard to form and hard to find. But he's just such a unique talent. I think all the adulation and the credit he gets is well deserved, but to kind of see it firsthand and see our team kind of seeing it themselves on a night where really other guys weren't their best, he was great. As a fan of basketball, I like watching. I mean, forget about our team, but just watching him play, he's unique.
Do you specifically with Steve about when he hopes to come back, or do you just let him to kind of dictate how he's feeling to you and
Last
when
one.
he hopes to come back?
It's like anybody that, that a lot of the conversations aren't about our basketball team, and the last thing I want to do is have him feel pressure to return. So a lot of it is how you feeling, but sometimes it's not about how you feeling. You get tired of being asked that question. I'll listen more than anything, and we do end up talking about. I think it's a little bit of a distraction to talk about the game, but it's a welcome one. I think he wants to talk about those things, but I don't know what I'm doing, guys. To be honest, there's no plan for this. I mean, think about a coach not being there. I just do whatever. You listen, you care, you support, but if anybody's got any better way to do it, I'm happy to listen. But I just hope he's back at some point soon. Great.
Great. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.